si passa molto più tempo ad aspettare le condizioni giuste che ad agire. E questa verità non si può mostrare in un webinar di un'ora, servirebbe tagliare proprio la parte più importante, quella dell'attesa. Per questo la Trading Marathon dura 5 giorni, 8 ore consecutive. Vedrai la disciplina vera, le ore in cui si analizza, si aspetta e si lascia passare quello che non convince. 40 ore di diretta, a mercati aperti, con analisi reale, spiegate passo dopo passo. L'evento è gratuito, ma esiste solo in diretta. Quando finisce, finisce davvero. Nessuna registrazione. Iscriviti gratis al link qui sotto, ci vediamo in diretta.
99% of businesses are using AI. But here's the question. How many are making the most of its potential? If you're wondering if that's you, you're in the right place. All the different AI solutions can be confusing to get your head around. That's why today I'm going to walk you through the 3 types of AI solutions that you can use in your business. They're called assistants, co-pilots, and agents. For each, I'll go and explain what they can and can't do, and give you an example of how they can make a difference to a business. Then, at the very end of the video, we'll talk about an AI superpower. So stay with us to find out more. Let's start with AI assistants. They're the simplest AI tool we're going to talk about today. So what are AI assistants great at? Assistants are great at helping you make decisions. Ask an assistant a direct question and using company data, they'll make a recommendation. So let's say, for example, that you run an event management company. You've just been handed a new brief. Planning a huge birthday party for a celebrity singer. At the start of your project, you're probably initially thinking about finding the right creative direction for an event like that. That's going to dictate everything else. The venue, the catering, the decoration. That's where an AI assistant can come and help. You're going to ask it to give you recommendations for themes for this event. It's going to look through your company database and pull from your research on current trends, your customer profiles, and the feedback you've gotten from similar events you've organized. And the assistant comes back with 3 recommendations for venues based on what similar customers have given positive feedback on before. If you ask the assistant to explain the reason for each of its recommendations, it can also give you a rationale. Now, let's talk about co-pilots. Put simply, they're able to do more than assistants. If you've got a specific question, they can retrieve company data and answer it for you. The big difference here between assistants and co-pilots is that co-pilots can take simple follow-up actions. Let's go back to our celebrity birthday party. You agree with the assistant, and you selected its top recommendation, Tropical Fairy Tale. Your next step is to assign a team to work on this project with you. So you get a co-pilot to help you. First, you ask the co-pilot, who in my team has the most capacity over the next 3 months? This is going to be a big project. Because you've connected the co-pilot to company data, it goes through the company calendar and returns the following answer. Then you can ask a follow-up question like, out of these 9, who has the most experience of planning tropical theme parties? So then it will search your database on previous projects and come up with a list like this. And from there, you can ask it to perform simple actions. So we'll ask it to notify Karen, Alicia, and Matt that they've been assigned to the project. And we'll also ask the co-pilot to automatically send them a notification every time there's a change in the project status. This is what AI co-pilots can do. But AI co-pilots can only perform simple actions, not complex ones. And to find out what we mean by that, let's move on to agents. Agents are the most powerful of the 3 AI solutions we're talking about today. Once you give an agent an outcome, it can sequentially reason and then take actions until that outcome is achieved. In other words, that means an agent thinks about how it's going to accomplish a task and then executes it. For planning a birthday, you might ask an agent for help with finding the right venue. The agent can search through the available venues that match your budget, location, guest numbers, and theme, and draw up a shortlist based on this criteria. Then once it draws up a shortlist, they'll go ahead and book meetings with each venue. The important thing to reiterate here is that the agent will do all this independently, without needing further input from you once you've given it an outcome. So once you're done, you open your calendar and voila, you've got 5 calls with the venue scheduled over the next week. What agents can do, however, is work towards more than one outcome at a time. So you can ask this agent to do the same thing for, say, caterers at the same time. If you tried, the agent might start going around in a loop or even hallucinate. Hallucinating in this context means that it'd either give you made-up answers or nonsensical ones. For example, it might invent a venue that doesn't exist, or book meetings for both caterers and venues in the same time slot. You don't want that. But what if you could get agents to work together? That'd be pretty handy, right? So this is where we get to that AI superpower that I mentioned at the start. It's called orchestration technology. What orchestration technology does is allow several AI assistants, AI co-pilots, and AI agents to work together. As an example, you could set up an orchestration to automate a contingency plan in case it rains on the day of your party. To start, you have an AI assistant monitor the weather forecast. If, say, the chance of rain gets to over 70%, it will trigger a first agent to notify the on-hold booking you have with the tenting company and ask them to begin setup. Then a second agent will simultaneously write and send an update to all the guests, letting them know about the weather and the adjustments to the venue. Finally, a co-pilot would send a notification to all on-site staff, updating them of the change. Now, the best thing about all of this is that once you set up that workflow, you don't have to think about it. If it's triggered by the weather conditions, it will run in the background without needing to be prompted. Now, imagine what else you could use it for. You could, for instance, orchestrate the whole process we just went through right now when a new brief comes in, of choosing a theme, assigning a team, and finding a venue. Assistants, co-pilots, and agents are like expert specialists. But to win the Super Bowl, you don't just need star players. You need a whole team working in harmony. That's what orchestration does. And what this AI coach does is to free up your staff to do better work faster. Let's have a quick recap. Assistants make recommendations and can explain them. Co-pilots answer complex questions and perform simple follow-up actions. Agents sequentially reason and perform complex actions to achieve a given outcome. And finally, orchestration tech makes them all work together in harmony. That's it for now. And if you want to find out even more about how assistants, co-pilots, and agents all work together, and how they can be used in business like yours, check out our free ebook, Destination AI.
With you too.
What?
So sorry, Meg.
Stan? Marv?
Stan, I'm sorry.